All right, we are live with another quick tip Tuesday. Each and every Tuesday. Do not miss out. Today's topic, we're going to discuss blind offers. What is a blind offer? We're going to discuss blind offers and when to do them and when not. And if you're a seller, when should you accept a blind offer? So blind offer is basically when you look at a property online, you see a bunch of pictures, you don't see it in person, and you send an offer in a hope of the offer getting accepted. Actually, it's more common than you think, especially now during the pandemic. There's a lot of bidding wars, a lot of competition, so that's actually increased in the past year, I would say. A lot of people are either getting desperate or want an actual chance and they want to move into anything. What I would say, go for it, but just be careful. Make sure you protect yourself because if you've been shopping around for homes now, you know they usually put the best pictures in place. They get the right angles. Just be careful with that. If you have enough lighting, any house can look nice. Just make sure they have all the pictures. Make sure all the main ticket items are there. You have the kitchen, all sides of the kitchen. If it shows 5 bedrooms, make sure there's like 5 bedroom pictures. Make sure the basement, make sure like the heating unit, maybe the roof, major ticket items. I know a lot of those pictures may not be there, but you could do maybe a quick Google search, Google Maps, see how the roof looks. You could drive by, see if the windows, siding, what's going on with the house. It's very, very common. So a lot of people have been home searching for some time now. So there's been more and more blind offers going around because after the 10th time of your offer getting rejected or not even looked at, you want to have a standing chance. So a lot of people are putting blind offers in. Just be very careful. And if it does get accepted, I would definitely get some type of clause in there. Make sure you have an inspection period. Make sure they allow you to see the house within a certain time frame for you could make a better decision. Make sure it fits all your criteria. If you're gonna put a blind offer in, meets your price, the area, maybe the school, maybe the bedroom count. If it's a multi-family home, make sure if you're gonna live in one unit, make sure there's one unit available now or they will be before closing, because if you're getting an owner-occupied loan, you actually need to have at least one unit vacant. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people don't know that, and the transactions are actually taking longer because there isn't a unit vacant, and especially now it's tougher to get people out because of the moratorium. Just be careful with that. Protect yourself. Make sure you have an appraisal as well. A lot of people are doing blind offers and going above asking because right now, if it's a funny joke that's going around, if you're not really going above asking, they're not even going to look at your offer. Unfortunately, some listing agent price it a certain way to entice bidding wars. Just make sure you're working with the right team, because if you don't, you're going to overpay, and a lot of sellers are asking to waive appraisals. Don't waive appraisals. At least have some type of cap that you go 5, 10, 15, maybe you feel comfortable above the appraised value. So what does that mean? That means if you're waiving appraisal, so for any loan you do get a mortgage, the bank wants to make sure that what you're buying for is what it's worth, because they're not going to lend you money for something that is not worth what you're buying it for. So let's say you're buying a house for $300,000. The appraisal come back at $275,000. If you waive appraisals, you have to come up out of pocket $25,000 more than what you already agreed upon. So the down payment was, let's say, 3.5%. That would be roughly about $9,000 and change, $95,000. They say maybe like $9,000. And then closing costs, you would have to pay for that as well. That's another $10,000. Can vary depending on the area. And then that's all in about $19,000. So now on top of that, you have to put 25,000, which now instead of paying $19,000 for the home, you're looking at 44,000. So just make sure you're capping that appraisal waiver. Um, People may tell you like, hey, you wouldn't have no issue with the appraisal, but you never know. There's a lot of things that go to appraisals. There's the condition of the house, bedroom count, legal bedroom count. If it's in the basement, doesn't really count. So just make sure the condition of everything within the home. There's a lot of things that go into play. So there's nothing for certain. So don't let anyone tell you just to waive the appraisal, because they have a gut feeling that's gonna appraise. Also, make sure you cap. So if you capped it at 5,000, instead of paying that 44, you would be at 24. So it's a big difference, and a lot of people don't have a lot of all that money to cough up. So just be very, very careful. So now for my sellers, be careful when you're accepting. Just for sellers in general, just be careful when you're accepting blind offers. A lot of people are getting desperate now. Maybe they just want to offer accepted. Once they see the house, they can cancel the contract, or the inspection comes, they can cancel it for any little thing. So just make sure it's a stronger offer, and you're being transparent. You have all the pictures in place online, so people can make their best decision and see if they really want to move forward with the house. And don't get greedy. A lot of sellers right now are getting greedy. They want to, you want to waive all appraisals, of course, and waive inspections as well. Rightly so. You want to take advantage of the market, the seller's market. You want to get the most for your home. You want to squeeze any little penny, but just you were in the same boat. If it wasn't last year, many years ago, you were looking for a house. Maybe you were in a bidding war. Maybe it's not as tough than it is now, but don't try to empty someone else's bank account, because karma can bite you in the ass. So just be fair, be good. I'm sure you're selling this house, you're going to buy another house. You don't want someone else to do that to you. You don't want to squeeze every penny, because a lot of people are putting all their money into the home, and I don't really like that. I want you to have money in the bank after you close, because things can happen in the house. You would have, maybe there's a small leak in the roof. You have to redo the whole roof. You have to do the furnace, a boiler, repairs always happen. You always want to do repairs to fix it to your liking, because you're never going to find that perfect home where you don't want to touch anything. It's possible, but if you think that's the perfect home, everyone else thinks it's a perfect home as well. So just be careful with that. With that being said, this week's topic was blind offers. I'm going to open up to questions now. It's more common than you think. Blind offers. Would I do a blind offer? Yeah. If the numbers make sense and I'm buying it under the market value, and I'm accounting for worst case scenarios, yeah, investor property. But for my primary residence, I don't know. Maybe I will. If the numbers make sense and I'm in desperate need to move. But be careful. When you're desperate and make decisions, they always bite you in the ass. So be patient and maybe do a blind offer, maybe not. I don't see any questions this time around. Looks like I answered everything, which is amazing, which is good. Can we still do an appraisal with a blind offer? Yes, you can do an appraisal still. So just depending on the contract you put. If you're getting a mortgage, you have to do appraisal regardless, because the bank is not going to lend you money unless they know what the value of the house is. So they're not going to lend their own money without knowing what it's worth. So appraisal is always going to happen. Is it possible that you can waive an appraisal if the seller wants to? But just be careful with waiving appraisals, because that's more out of pocket for you. And you should always cap what you feel comfortable with paying. Just remember, you're paying more than the house is worth. Just be very careful with that. If this is your dream home, you have the extra cash laying around and you won't be broke after that, go for it. Go for it. Just make sure you know what you not know what you're doing, but you get the best advice from your team. And that's why it's very important to have a good team. Because a lot of people will just tell you to waive the whole appraisal and waive the whole inspection. But that's more out of pocket money for you in the long term or in the short term, because a lot of things can go wrong. Just be careful. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap up this Quick Tip Tuesday. Hope you learned something. If you have any topics you want me to discuss for next week or anything in the future, let me know. Shoot a message in my DMs, and hope everyone has a blessed rest of your night.